Hey everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. This video is going to be different from anything I've ever posted, or honestly, even said out loud before. I've been a long-time reader and viewer of stories like this. Paranormal encounters, creepy middle-of-the-night happenings. You name it. I've consumed it all, with a mix of fascination and fear. But I never thought I'd have my own story to tell. And yet, here I am. Before I dive in, if you like true stories that keep you up at night, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a post. And if something like this has ever happened to you, even slightly similar, drop a comment. I need to know I'm not the only one. So, this happened in February, just a few months ago. Winter was still heavy in the air, the kind of cold that makes everything feel a little more still, more quiet. The nights were especially eerie. I live in a duplex-style house that was built back in the 1930s. It's got all the charm and all the quirks of an old home. Creaky wooden floors, strange temperature shifts, shadows that seem to stretch just a little too far. My boyfriend and I live on the first floor, and there's another young couple who live upstairs. We share a staircase and a basement that's, no exaggeration, right out of a horror movie. Unfinished, dusty, and freezing cold even in summer. We only use it for laundry and storage. At the time, my boyfriend hadn't moved in yet. My old roommate had moved out, and he was still finishing up his lease elsewhere. That meant, for a few weeks, I was living in the house completely alone. Most nights, I'd stay with my boyfriend, but not always. This particular night, I decided to sleep at home. I was tired. Nothing felt weird. Not yet, anyway. It was around midnight, maybe closer to 1 a.m. I was lying in bed, eyes wide open. I wasn't anxious or anything, just alert. The kind of wide-awake feeling where your body is tired, but your brain just won't shut off. I was lying on my side, facing the window. The blinds were closed, but soft light from the street lamps filtered through, casting faint lines across the wall. The room was quiet, too quiet. Not the normal creaks and settling sounds I'd gotten used to. Just stillness. Then something happened. I felt a whoosh of air right in my ear. Not just a breeze. It felt like someone exhaled hard, just inches from my head. It was strong and sudden and cold. My heart jumped. I froze. There was no way it came from a vent. The window was shut. The heat wasn't on, and it wasn't random either. It was focused, like breath, like someone was standing right next to the bed. I told myself to calm down. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe it was the house shifting. Anything. I tried to ignore it. But then, I felt the bed move. Not just a shift from me moving. The mattress dipped, slowly, and the sheet pulled ever so slightly. And that's when I felt it. A weight against my back. Like someone was lying beside me. Not just lying next to me, spooning me. Pressed right up against my back. Firm. Warm. Real. I was frozen. Literally paralyzed with fear. I didn't even dare to breathe deeply. I lay completely still like a statue. My eyes were wide open, staring at the wall, heart pounding so hard I thought it might give me away. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to turn around. For what felt like forever, it was probably 5 or 10 minutes, I just stayed there silent. The pressure against my back didn't change. It didn't go away. I just kept whispering to myself in my head, "You're imagining this. You're imagining this." Eventually, I forced myself to turn. It took everything in me. And when I did, there was nothing. No one. At first, I was just relieved. I thought, okay, maybe it was a dream. Sleep paralysis. Something rational. But then I saw the bed. And that's when it all stopped making sense. The bed was empty. That should have been comforting. But it wasn't. Because the side of the bed that had just felt occupied, that space looked used. Like someone had actually been there. Now here's where it gets really bizarre. You have to understand, on my bed, the entire side that I don't sleep on is covered in clothes. I'm talking about a huge, messy pile of clean laundry that I had zero motivation to put away. Just stacked there for days. Weeks maybe. I'm not proud of it. But hey, I live alone, and I sleep curled up in a tiny space. I don't need the whole bed. But when I looked over, all of those clothes had been pushed away. Not a little nudge. Not like I accidentally kicked a shirt in my sleep. The entire pile was shoved to the very edge of the bed, like something or someone had needed space to lay there. That entire half of the bed was cleared. And not only that, my extra pillow, the one that just sits untouched near the foot of the bed, was now right up next to mine. Side by side, like it had been used, like someone had adjusted it. As if someone had, without me noticing, climbed into bed, moved the clothes, fluffed the pillow, and laid down beside me. I can't even describe the fear I felt in that moment. My chest was tight, my eyes were watering, and my heart was racing. I kept trying to find any possible explanation. Could I have done it in my sleep? Maybe tossed and turned so much that I accidentally pushed everything aside? But no, that wasn't it. That pile had been there for days. It would have taken effort to move. I would have had to physically sit up and shift everything. It's not something I would have done without noticing. And I sure as hell didn't move that extra pillow. The air in the room felt wrong. Heavy, like it had shifted. I didn't feel alone, even though nothing was there anymore. It was like whatever had come into that bed with me was gone. But I'd been there. Really been there. I know how it sounds. Believe me, I questioned every detail. And when I told my boyfriend the next day, he did what most people do. Try to explain it away. Said I probably kicked the clothes around in my sleep and forgot. That maybe I was dreaming, half awake. But I wasn't dreaming. I was wide awake. Every moment. Every breath. I remember the pressure against my back. The whoosh of air in my ear. And the emptiness when I finally turned around. Whatever that was, it wanted me to know it was there. If you made it this far, thank you. Honestly, telling this story still gives me chills. It's something I haven't really talked about with anyone but my boyfriend, and now you. If you've ever had anything remotely similar happen, please drop in the comments. I'd love to read your experiences. They might help me make sense of my own. And again, if you enjoy real, unsolved, and completely unexplainable stories like this, please give this video a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's into the strange and unsettling. There's more I want to share because that night wasn't the last strange thing that happened in that house. Not by a long shot. If you've ever felt something you couldn't explain, leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps more people find these stories.